Good afternoon, my friends. Let's go further in our stories on Russia. And of course, a million people ask about Mikhail Gorbachev, the first, the only, and the last Soviet president who was born in 1931, who is still alive and lives in Moscow. But people have different opinion about him. Some people love him very much. Other people hate him to death. So, what did he do? What didn't he do? What he was willing to do? What part had he to play in the current development of Russia? He did not want to destroy Soviet system. He did not want to destroy communist system. He did not want to destroy Soviet Union, as many Western people think. It is very strong stereotype that he was willing almost from his cradle. No, it is not true, because he has been a complete product of Soviet system, who was born in Soviet time, went to Soviet school, then to Soviet university. They were free and available for everybody. Then he made fantastic career, being member of higher Communist Party elite, and reached the top of power pyramid in 1985, when he turned into Soviet leader with unlimited power within superpower, and with a wonderful life for him and his family, because they were members of elite, they had privileges. Actually, he had no any personal problem, but he was thinking about people. And this is why, almost from the beginning of his rule, he started to do changes. He started to think about reforms. What did he want to achieve, and what did he achieve? Being an ideal product of Soviet system, having fantastic career within Soviet system, he did not want to destroy it. He did not want to destroy Soviet communist system. He did not want to crush Soviet Union. By the way, he still thinks that it was one of the biggest mistakes made by his political successors. He wanted to improve Soviet system, to make it better for Soviet people, to increase their living standard, to add a little bit more democracy to that one-party system. He actually did not want to destroy the basement of Soviet system, 100% ownership and monopoly of Communist Party on power. But on that basement, he wanted to do rebuilding, remodeling, reshaping, restructuring. And when he started to do this, little by little, small changes, the genie went out of the bottle, the genie of inner controversies of Soviet system. Things started to develop as a snowball, going much faster than he suspected. And in 6 years, communist system finished, Soviet system disappeared, and Soviet empire was crushed. And he did not want to have none of them. However, there was something which he was willing, and he achieved. There were two great changes. Number one, he radically changed Soviet foreign policy. He called us and the whole world stop thinking about each other as enemies. He said that we are partners, that we have to develop partnership to prevent nuclear catastrophe, to prevent ecological catastrophe. And he started to make steps forward, to have negotiations with Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, call many other Western leaders. And this brought Cold War to the end. And it was declared in 1989. He admitted that going to Afghanistan in 1979 was a mistake, and he withdrew Soviet troops from Afghanistan in 1989. He led German people to be reunited peacefully, and it's happened. And Berlin Wall fell down, and Iron Curtain fell down, and we stopped to be enemies. And it is absolutely another world, and Soviet Union and current Russia are members of world community. He became very popular around the world. Soviet Union stopped to be a threat for many countries. But it was much harder to change something inside country. However, Gorbachev was able to make the first step towards democracy. And that step went into international vocabulary also as a Russian word, because it is Glasnost. And you know that Glasnost is openness, freedom of self-expression, freedom of opinion, freedom of belief, and you are used to this, but not us in Soviet Union. When we had to think like Communist Party, we shouldn't criticize it, and then Gorbachev changed everything. He gave us chance to express our opinion, to speak openly, to criticize Communist Party, to criticize government, to criticize Mikhail Gorbachev himself. Prohibited books, documents, millions of them were published, including Alexander Solzhenitsyn Archipelago Gulag. 20 million copies were published only in Gorbachev time, before it was prohibited even to mention the name of Solzhenitsyn. The Animal Farm of George Orwell was translated and published in 1986. World media, broadcasting, television, everything started to be available for us, which was prohibited before. So we really turned into free and open country thanks to Mikhail Gorbachev. And Russia today is free country where we could express our opinion. It is open for our guests who could come and to enjoy the best sides of our civilization, the beauty of our culture. Gorbachev was founder of our liberty and new Russia. Thank you very much.